beautiful today, really beautiful. Um, Look at all this. Put some lights up. I got some of these solar lights, and if you can see them, going all the way up along. Come back around. I like it. I like it a lot. Um, I just sitting here. I wanted to make a video for everybody and just say how wonderful life is. Um, Learning to let things go. I think the art of confidence, which doesn't come until much later in life, is something that you grow with. And along with that comes with looking at everything for what it is. You always grow up with this mentality: am I good enough? Am I qualified? Am I funny enough? Am I talented? And then you realize that really nobody's watching you, um, unless they mean to. Unless you've said something or done something that's noteworthy. All the people who've been bullies in your life and have been there to put you down really haven't said anything to contribute. Just like right now with these birds. There's a bird trying to raid another bird's nest, and I've been watching this all day. So the bird is doing its own thing, standing up to this bird that's like 8 times its size, and how it's doing it is pretty amazing. It's right over there by that tree. You can see there's two birdhouses, one there and one there, and there's that dead limb. It's right up in there sitting. There's such an amazing amount of poetry to that tree and the protection that gives to that little bird, that it knows it's safe there. Um, Beautiful, beautiful day, and beautiful just to look at that, take all life in. So I wanted to take a moment, and I posted something last night, and it just was, the emotions were too raw. Um, we all in the, I don't know, I'm not a fan of anything, but I did watch wrestling when Wyndham was on. I was a friend of Wyndham's, a fan of Wyndham's. Um, just loved how his mind worked. And our friend Jodie Gilly um, passed away the other day. She was a very young woman. She had kids and a husband. And she did that podcast of Abby's Window. It just puts life into perspective. I really knew Brittany better than I did Jodie, but Brittany was amazing. I don't know if people realize how tough it is to put on a podcast for over an hour, because this is like only a couple of minutes, and to keep your focus on it, to keep it fun, to keep it engaging, to bring the kind of guests on that she did. And she did it because she had the one thing that Wyndham also had, which was being authentic. Um, I think she had this amazing ability to show what her faith, her friendships, and her honesty meant. And when she interviewed somebody, talked about Wyndham and talked about other people, other things, she brought that forth. You couldn't help but just enjoy it. And we're thinking all day about it. Just her show Abby's Window, and I don't know in what way it's going to continue. Uh, Without Jodie, it's going to be really difficult to have anything that is going to be an assemblage of it. And that loss is just just think of her kids, and I know they've been going through a lot in school from what she posted, and I hope that if there's any way that I could do something to spread the word, if there's anything for them, I'll do that. I think that again, life is so beautiful, and I'm very blessed to know some really wonderful people, Jodie among them. Every time I go to bed at night, I think of I used to carry a list with me. And when I go to bed at night, I have that same list. I've kind of lost track of it, of all the people I've known that have mattered to me and have been really amazing people. I used to use that list every time before I'd go to do a poetry reading or do any kind of music. I would pace about 10 minutes before and just repeating those names in my head. So that by the time I got through it, I kept their memory alive and I didn't have an ego. I was reminded why, who, how. Very intrinsic meaning of life. So that someday if I meet and become on somebody else's list, that those people have inspired us. Jodie, though she was a fan, in her own way, carried on a lot of Wyndham's same values. And she's going to be deeply missed in the community of not just wrestling, but the people that just like talking to her. Like I said, we weren't super close, but the conversations I did have with her and things I learned talking to her were incredible. Very incredible. You could see why when Wyndham met Brittany or her, he just had to give them a hug. He just he knew wonderful type of human beings. So the point about today, because every day is a gift, is to take in the beauty. There's that little bird singing. It takes a lot of self-confidence to go in front of an audience and be that open and honest that you don't have until later on in life. And some people, oh, sorry, some people have it much earlier in life. You know it's for a reason. We have all these videos we can watch of Jodie, I think she wrote. And like with Wyndham, he and her both have a lot of words that if you ever feel down and you ever feel like you lost meaning or direction, you can follow them and they'll guide you in that right direction. A big believer in that. So I was trying to say last night, there was something Hobo Shoestring, another friend of mine who just recently passed away, said when they asked if he believed in life after death, reincarnation. He said, "Oh, certainly." He says, but he didn't mean it in a religious sense. He let go of the ego of it. He said, you know, only meant it for artists, musicians, people in general. people touch your lives, people that are there when they're called to be there at that point in life. He said, I think that, and I'm paraphrasing here, the people with the same types of purpose and soul that the universe needs at that moment, that's reborn. And that's the truth. I think when you let go of dogma and religion and everything, that's the meaning of life, the whole purpose of why you pass on what you've learned, and why you take moments like this and just take it all in and be grateful. All right, I took 11 minutes of your time. I just wanted to think about some of those things that are on my mind today. Share them with you people because, it's a lifetime's bit of wisdom or lack thereof. All right, namaste. And be great, be loved, follow buzzards and the prayer flags, all of that wonderfulness, light and love.